Toastmaster Kundavi, connecting with young minds. Connecting with young minds, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, DTM Satish. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. I'll start with a story. Long, long ago, there lived a healer. Throughout his life, he was researching about herbs and their healing powers. He used to wander around forests and mountains in search of herbs and would experiment them on his patients. If the herb was useful, he would take down a notes. By repeatedly doing this, he soon became a skillful doctor. Years passed by, he became old. But he was not happy. One day, he met with the hermit and asked, "Oh, dear saint, I have worked hard throughout my life, and today I am the best doctor available in this country." But he paused for a moment and then continued, "Somehow, my heart is not happy with my success. I feel something is missing. What shall I do to die with peace of mind?" The saint listened to his story, contemplated for a while, and then said, "Dear doctor, you have sacrificed your entire life searching for herbs that would heal human body. But now all that hard earned knowledge will die with you. That's why your heart is restless. Your heart wants to share all that knowledge so that your name and that hard earned information will stay on this earth forever. So teach someone, then your heart will be content." The healer followed the advice of the hermit. He selected a good young man and transferred all his knowledge without any reserves. When he saw that his disciple was confidently treating all his patients, his heart felt content. Let us remember this story until the end. When I was a Toastmaster, I was eagerly doing all the things necessary. I followed all the paths diligently. I did all the leadership roles, taking in a real leadership roles, and everything I had completed. Finally, when it was time for me to do the DTM project, I was wondering what should I take. My mentor, DTM Sampath, and myself were considering many projects like mentoring a club, teaching grammar, or doing social service in any particular residential area, and so on. Somehow, I was not happy with any of those projects. I was hesitant. Months went by. I was still procrastinating. Months became years. In between, I fell sick, severely sick, and took a break. During this break, I had time to leisurely contemplate on my passion. What is that one thing I will be happily doing for the rest of my life? Undoubtedly, it's communication, especially connecting with young minds. I always love to talk among youngsters, students, to kindle the language importance. I always insist on the need for efficiency in language so that you can become a good communicator or a leader or whatever you want. Once I was clear about my passion, I understood what I am supposed to do. So I decided I have to do my DTM project based on my passion rather than following something for the name's sake. Okay, let me define this project for you. This project actually has two parts. One part is visiting schools in person, speaking among the students, connecting with the teachers, and create an awareness on the need for language especially mother tongue and communication and leadership, so that not only the students, not only the schools, at least a part of this society will be getting benefit. The second part is to create a social media handle and upload speeches in that. Now, I have to give some more information about this project, like what will be the duration. Though I am planning to do this for the rest of my life, the time period for this particular project will be 2 to 3 months. And what am I going to do in this period? I'm going to personally visit some schools, say 5 schools or whatever. This may be aided or unaided schools, but the condition is they will be serving children from underprivileged locality who don't even know what is communication, who have no idea about how to come up in life. And then I should have a team, right? Currently, I'm having 3 people in my team. One is Mr. Chen Tamilvan and Siva Kalidasan, who is running a school in Ambattur, and he will be connecting me with other schools and teachers. And the 2 more people, graphic designer Karthik and CB, are from my colleagues from my previous offices who are going to support me in creating and maintaining this social media platform. Okay. Before we move on further, I just want to make this one thing clear. This project is not about promoting Toastmasters, though I will be mentioning about it to the students during my speeches. I know I have taken something bigger that will be pulling me out of my comfort zone, and it will demand me to walk on untrodden path. Yet I'm happy to do this because my inner voice says, if not now, when? Just like the healer we have seen in the beginning, I too want to transfer my knowledge and thoughts to the next generation so that I will be in peace when I grow older. Because knowledge shared is knowledge multiplied. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kumaravel. Toastmaster Kundavi is about to embark on her Distinguished Toastmaster program, the biggest achievement, educational achievement in Toastmasters International. And every program, especially Distinguished Toastmaster program, has to have a real need of why we are doing it. And Toastmaster Kundavi, you explained the reason for that need very well with the example of someone who wants to transition their knowledge so that the rest of the world can make use of it, which is very, very important. And the same of the day, when whatever I have learned, it's only when I give it to a larger community is when then everybody benefits. And I also get a feeling of fulfillment that I have shared my knowledge with a lot of people. Because what use is a knowledge if it is not shared and it doesn't and it goes along with you at the end of our lives? We have learned something. How is it that we can give that to society? That is what your entire outline of the speech was. And the example that you gave in the beginning very well resonated with that example. Okay. Talking about the example, when you spoke about giving lessons to students, especially in schools where English is not the first language. But that's very, very important for a distinguished Toastmasters project. It should be a project that one can really gauge, one can really measure, and one can always show that there has been an improvement before and after. A lot of people sometimes take projects which cannot be easily measured. But in your case, you've taken a project which can be easily measured. What is the need today? The children need that communication skill. Where is the need? There are schools where they don't get that level of training on communication. in their daily lives. How are you going to help? You are going to help them improve their skills. How are you best qualified to do it? Because you've been there and done that for so many years, and you know exactly how it needs to be done. How are you going to kind of get it done? That is the plan that you outlined, and you also had a team of members that will make you get there. What you can add further to this, which you did elaborate, is if you can have displayed the plan to say, this is my start date and end date. This is the way I will progress. What is it that I would be measuring? How many students got trained? How many schools did I reach? What is the level that I would measure it in? Somebody who has difficulty communicating, has that person become a better communicator, average communicator, good communicator? Those are some of the measurements that you need to kind of add to your project. But overall, a very good project, a very good start, and I wish you all the best as you progress towards your distinguished Toastmaster journey. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.